Using the patch tool here, in case you're wondering. Doing another work session. I haven't done a work session in quite a while. I like doing these work sessions every once in a while. You know, it really gives you a real sense as to like what my post-production process is, what it looks like, how much time I spend on it, how detailed I go. Let's go, Chess. Welcome. Haven't done a work session in a while. I thought I'd do one. Glad you're here. I get asked so often about retouching, skin retouching, so I'm just showing a little bit of what I do in the post-production realm. I don't touch any scars. You can see this is a scar, but I do fix skin. And also, I use a tablet. You'll see that I'm using a tablet here to do my retouching. Let's go, Black Phoenix. Glad you're here. I use a tablet to do my retouching, which makes the entire thing a lot easier. There's no other way to do it if you're trying to get like really fine details. And if you watch how I like my two hands work together, when I'm here, my second hand is on the keyboard going between Option and the space bar. Like I operate the keyboard, I do my shortcuts with this hand, and I use the tablet over here. But also I will put the pen down and use the trackpad if it's more efficient for a certain task, like going up to the menu bar and finding things if I need to. Although when everything is shortcuts, you don't really have to go to the menu bar that often. We're getting close on this photograph. Again, when you do these streams and not tell anybody, this is the whole point about it being a secret live stream. Members only, subscribers, I appreciate everybody who watches my channel. But this kind of stuff where I'm not, there's no script, there's no dialogue, there's no show notes, I'm just working. All I do is just turn the camera on while I'm working and just let you see what I do. So for these sessions, I'm not trying to mess up the algorithm, because they're not going to be interesting for everybody. But for the people who they are, it is interesting for, you'll find it. You also see how detailed I am on my images. I'm also retouching these at 16-bit. Right now, I am looking at this image at 400%. Let's go back to 100%, see if I missed anything. I don't like this here. I do a blend between retouching at 100% and punching in. The hair is really bad there. I'll fix that in a second. Chin is better. Okay, we're going to switch tools now. I'm going to go to the spot healing brush. Spot healing brush makes it super easy to do things like this because you don't have to hit the... Hello. You don't have to hit the Option key. Spot healing brush, hello. Why is this not working? Sample all layers, yes. Clone tool. Yeah, it's weird. That's not working either. Very weird. Very weird. Well, let's figure out why. Perhaps something is selected. Yeah, that was it. I had something selected. If there's something selected that you can't see on the screen, it's going to block you from doing healing tool or anything like that. So I found that. You see me commenting on all the dust that I see on the screens. All the dust that I see on your images, you hear me commenting on it. It's just because it's so easy to remove with the spot healing brush. I just go through and check the shirt on every detail to make sure that there's no spots. I do this for every picture. And this is client work, so this stuff is going to be possibly on some larger print media, billboards and stuff, so it's definitely for print. So I'm doing this image as 16-bit. 16-bit makes the image size twice as large, makes it's like millions of colors, and even if I'm doing a black and white image here, it just gives me the highest quality. What's up, Vicky? Glad you're here. What's up, Scott? Glad you're here. A rare work session. I haven't done one in a while. Okay, I think I'm there with those fixes. Like to do a background scan just to make sure that I'm not missing anything on the background. There's a couple of things here that I'm gonna fix. We're gonna go back to the patch tool. Just gonna take this, fix that. Just checking the background now to make sure that the background is clean before I get into his hair. Make sure the background is perfecto. Okay, background's looking good. Okay, so now we will get into his hair. And for his hair, we're gonna just play with the patch tool first, because there is no bleeding. As you can see, sometimes when you use the healing brush, which is the healing brush, and you do something on an edge like this with such contrast, it bleeds. Like if I come down here and try to erase this using the healing brush, sometimes it bleeds like that. That right there. You'll see it. This right here is a bleed. You'll see before and after. That's actually a bleed where it's actually affecting the gray. So we're going to undo that. I'll undo that. And when you switch to the patch tool, you can see I can take this whole hair and take it away, and there's next to no bleed. If there is any bleed, what we actually have to do is go to the clone tool, which is this tool right here, and then just patch down some clone, which will make that go away. Also, make sure up here it says sample all layers on the top. I have a big monitor, so I have to add this feature to OBS that allows you to zoom in on my cursor, so some of these small items don't seem so small on your screen. That's what we're trying to work on next. I'm going to try to install that before my next stream tonight. So now I'm just using the clone tool to make it so there's no bleed at all. And you sample and then just clone. So I'm sampling here and cloning in, sampling, cloning in. There's a couple bad ones on this side. I'm gonna clone in this. We're gonna divide that. Actually, let me just take all this down. Take this down. That one down. We're using the clone tool right now, by the way. In this little loop, we don't want that. And this little loop will make that a little bit more minimum. trying to not make it look too unrealistic. Just some of these wild ones I gotta fix. Okay, let's see what the head looks like now. Okay. There's a couple of patches that bother me. This patch over here bothers me. So we're going to fix that. I'm going to go to the patch tool. Take this whole thing out. Try to. Let's see what it looks like. A little bit of bleeding. Don't like that at all. Okay, we're going to use the clone tool and see if we can just build this down. What's up, Scuba Steve? Sorry about your dog, my guy. Okay, so just after erasing too much, it's going to go to the eraser tool and bring some of this back. So obviously you're working in layers, so you're not trying to... See here, I'm working in 2 layers, so I can just undo this and show you what's before and put it back. Show you the before and after. It also helps me because I can see in here, I just want a little bit more erasing. Just want a little bit more hair back there. Just a little bit more back there. Let's see the before. Okay. See if I hate that now. It's not perfect, but it's a lot better. That scar on his head is normal. See if I can fix a little bit of this patchiness on his face. Do a little burn and dodge. I like to have tools for everything. So I'm going to go to my dodge and burn with help. I'm going to hit that. That gives me my dodge and burn layers here. There's actions for everything. And then I'm going to use the brush tool. So the brush tool is the letter B. So I am on the brush tool, and you can see here I have light and dark. Obviously it's black and white already, so I don't really need the black and white filter. So I can just delete the black and white filter, but we're doing a dodge layer, and now I'm just painting in lighter. You can see up here my opacity is 10 and my flow is 48, and I'm just now painting in some of the darker areas and making them lighter. Like here on his face. It's part of his nose. Again, you can see how dexterous you can be with the tablet. You can't, it's like I'm operating it like a pen. And if you look at my hand and the way that my hand moves while I'm doing this, you can see you're able to be so, you're just operating a pencil. It's actually quite cool. Couple little dark spots over here. We're gonna try to fix. Forehead. Yes, this little bit here between his eyebrows. Oops, that's not so clean. You know what? We're just gonna make our tool a little nicer. We're gonna take the hardness off. Seems like I had a little bit of hardness on there. There we go. So I'm just doing a little burning and dodging. This you're able to do over top. It doesn't do any degrading to the skin. And I'm also doing this on a dodge layer. So if you actually see what I'm doing, this is all that I'm doing, is actually messing with a black and white layer on top of my photo. And in fact, I can make this scar much lighter if I just focus on the dark area. Drop the brush down a little bit and just focus on the dark area of this. And you can see now I'm hitting the shadow side. So in me hitting the shadow side, it actually makes the scar so much more gentle without me touching the highlight side at all. And if I show you before, that's what it looks like before, and this is after, with me just doing a little bit of lightening. And if I hit the X tool, it switches here from light to dark, and now I can just hit the light side with a little bit of darkening, here. So this is just a little bit of burn-in dodge, and I've taken now a scar that looked like that, and now it looks like that, and without losing any definition. So again, his scar is something that should stay there. I didn't want to take it away so much. To be honest, I didn't want to take it away so much. So we are going to go into the, this is how we get rid of it. And take this away. You can see right here. So watch this little secret trick. Because I'm on a gray layer, and I am using the brush tool here. So I'll just make the brush tool bigger. I'll hit Option. Oops, I'm on the erase tool, silly map. I'm gonna go to the brush tool. Now that's the brush tool. I'm gonna make that larger. I'm gonna use the Option key, which samples. So I'm now sampling. Let me just make my do not disturb for like an hour. There you go. So now I go here and I just paint out, and I have to put my flow back to 100%. And now put my opacity back to 100%. And now I can just paint this back out, just like that. I can just paint everything that I did on that scar out. And in fact, I can paint all of that out, just like that. Then I have to make sure that I go back here to 10%, because that's how the tool I need it. And then over here on the color, I have to make sure that I go back to white on the foreground color. So I go back here to white on the foreground color, and then I put my layers back, and you can see it's right back exactly how it was. So rather than hitting this with the light side, I'm going to hit it with the dark side of the brush. So I'm going to hit X and try to just darken where it's the lightest. Because I think if I darken down the highlight, it's going to make it a lot less aggressive. And you can see there, just by taking down the highlight, that's before and that's after. So it does make it quite, it's still there, but it's just not quite as aggressive as it is when it catches the highlight. And you can just see all the rest of the dodge and burn that I did to his face as well. It's a little bit under his eyes and between his eyebrows. So that flick is pretty close to being finished. What's up, James? Glad you're here, buddy. That flick is pretty close to being finished. I'm just gonna do just a little bit more in here. Just needs to be lightened just a touch more. And then just a touch down here. There we go. And we'll just see a little before and after. Before and after. Okay. And now we can, oops, drop. No, that's not working. We can take this and merge it. And now I can show you skin before and after. So this is after, and this is before. After and before. Oops, I made a mistake. Bad mistake up there. You see this up here? I gotta fix that. So, how we're gonna fix that is, yeah, I'm just gonna do this. I'm just going to go to the eraser tool, eraser, and just erase this. That does it. Okay, better. After, before, after? Okay, so that's a final now. It sounds like Minecraft music in the background. Yeah, I listen to, when I'm working, I listen to binaural beats, which is, it's like brain music for focus. So literally, I don't even hear it. It just causes me to lock in. I don't know if you've ever seen on YouTube when you search, this is binaural beats, but when you go to YouTube, do this, search, you'll see all these frequency things. Like this is what I do when I'm working. I put one of these on, and it's unbelievable how much work I get done. So obviously I'm streaming on YouTube, so I'm not able to show you YouTube, but I can't show you or play anything from YouTube, but that's what I do when I'm listening. So I'm right now playing binaural beats for focus. And also, again, it's sort of subliminally locking you into what I'm doing, and it's helping you focus on what I'm doing. This is the next picture. I love this girl's glasses. This girl's skin, like I want you to look at her skin and you can see it just looks troubled, right? It looks like it's going to be difficult. I want you to see the first thing that I did, which was duplicate the layer. That's Command J on a Mac to duplicate the layer. Also, by the way, I'm running an M1 Mac Mini. I am currently live streaming in 1080-60. At the same time, I have Bridge open with all my files. At the same time, I'm running Photoshop, and I'm running a 16-bit file and retouching, and it's this fluid. So max. So it always starts with the patch tool, which is what I'm using. This up here is the patch tool, which is underneath the healing brush. And the patch tool is great because you see this texture on the skin. I can take this pimple away and leave the texture of the skin underneath without any, you can't see any flaw. I take the flaw away, and it gives you back the exact texture. You have to make sure that you're sampling exactly right. Oops. Wow, what am I on now here? Undo. Why is that not, there we go. That's weird, it's not patching. Okay. Very weird. Do one more back. One more back after that. Okay. Weird. Okay. Why does this not want to play? Very weird. Let me figure this out. I'm just going to back up a couple times. Okay. Okay. There we go. Sometimes I touch the wrong button. We're a little punched in on this skin right now. That's how close I was going, just to show you the before. Ooh, and I also moved my goddamn canvas. Let's go to my history. Ooh, I moved it way back there. Okay, so fixed. Okay. This is your history. I save my history in like 50 actions, so I can go back 50 steps, and you have to do that manually, by the way. You have to go into your settings. Up here, Photoshop, settings, general, and it brings up this, and then you go to, where is it, file handling? Or is it right here on the thing? But it allows you to do, you just go through here and find where it says history. And then when you find history, you can save it so it saves 50 backgrounds or 50 steps backwards, as many as you need. So I do 50 Because when you're doing actions as quick as I do, like, and when you're hitting the tools as fast as I do, like 50 actions go back pretty quickly. And if you're not, if it's the default, which is like 10, you're gonna lose time because you're gonna have to do a lot of stuff over again. You needed this tutorial, Morgan? Yeah, it's like people use the blur tool, which you don't blur skin. It's not 2005. Like, skin has to look like skin. It has to hold the integrity of the skin, but minus the blemishes. So how you do that is with non-destructive retouching. You can also use split frequency. There's all kinds of different ways to do it. This is a simpler way to do it. Definitely a simpler way to do it.
High quality content.
Just making sure you guys are still with me. Okay, is this forehead done? Again, it's tricky because her forehead's not completely smooth, but again, it is what her skin is. And I'm not gonna make my file look all blurred just because. Like, that's a no-no. What I'm gonna do is take away all the flaws in her skin and leave her skin flaw-free, but it's still gonna have the texture that it actually has, because that's super necessary. Stay off her neck right now. Stay on her face. This side of her cheek is not going to be fun. I can already see that. I mean, there's going to be a time when the generative fill is going to be so good, and I know that there's already people who are using generative fill to do what I'm doing right now. I just think that there's something for using Photoshop the way it was made. All right, we're getting there. See before. Okay. Her skin is so dry. It's rare that you see a woman who doesn't have, like, who's not using, like, full-on plethora of products. But this woman has extra dry skin. Okay, how far am I going to go here? This is where it gets tricky, is like these little bumps around her mouth without me going too hyper insane. And also, I'm at 300%. I usually retouch between like 300 and 400%, but it depends, because you also have to look at 100% and see what the skin looks like normal, like 100% size. Show the before and after. You can see, like, the skin looks exactly like that, just without blemishes. Okay, let's get a couple spots on her neck. You can see how fast you can move with the tablet. You can't retouch with a brick. A brick meaning your mouse. Your mouse is a brick with a piece of pencil lead or a piece of ink in one spot on the other side of the brick. It's incredibly difficult, and ergonomically, it kills your hand to hold a brick. Holding a pen, our body has been trained to hold a pen since we were 4 years old. So holding a pen we can handle easy and all day. So in order to do this quickly and efficiently, you buy the tools that retouchers use. And the reason that, if you look at this neck afterwards and look at it before and her chin, the reason that it's so clean is because I have a tablet and I'm able to have that kind of dexterity with it. This is a file from a Canon R5, which is a 45 megapixel camera. It generates files that are roughly 150 megs when you process a TIFF. And then if you process a 16-bit TIFF, it's roughly 250 megs right now. Right now, because I'm now doing that, it's 16-bit and I'm on 2 layers. This image is 512 megabytes right now, which is half a gig. All right, this is the final. This is the final picture. The flyaways are out of control. Out of control. But it's like, I don't know if I can, like, bring them down. I mean, I can. Without it looking ridiculous, starts to get really difficult. Honestly. This is like too many flyaways.com. Like too many. It's almost like it's so many that if I take them away, it's going to look really strange around this part of her hair. Like if I take them away, it's going to get really weird around this part of her hair. Oops. Around here gets weird. Around here gets weird. Like, I actually have to leave it. I have to leave it. I'll investigate further. Oops, I see a little bit of a lens. This is called sensor dust. All right, let's do a last scan. This pisses me off because I wish I had a control. I wish there was hair and makeup on set for this one, but there was not. And the shirt and these little pills, which I love. Don't you love pills when a shirt pills like this? And it's fabric and you're trying to like get rid of these pills on fabric. Isn't that fun? You're asking me how I'm doing it. I'm using the patch tool as well, because just like you can move things on skin and keep the texture underneath, you can do that as well on fabric. So that's what I'm doing. Is it going to be perfect? No. Am I trying to make it perfect? No. Yeah, it's like, it's just going to make me crazy. It's something like it should tell you, like you have to scan people's clothing before you shoot. We were in a situation here where there was no other outfits. They just came with what they came with. So we were kind of, let's go, Yana. Welcome, 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 Robin. Glad you're here. Welcome, KM. Stephen C. Welcome. James. All right, save and close. All right, what's the time? 3:38. I'm only allocating, I'm only doing this for maybe another 20 because I'm not taking the whole day on this. I'm going to spend 2 days on this because this is the amount of photos I need to do. They start here. And they end here. This one's done. Anything that has a red flag is done already. So far today, I've done 5. So I'm gonna finish 5. I've done 5 out of, well, there's 8 more to do, I think. 8 more to do, including the one that I'm starting. So yeah, I won't finish 8 today. Try to finish, I'm gonna try to finish maybe 9. We'll see how this next one goes. Ugh. This is me always. This is me always. I look at skin and I'm like, ugh. Yuck. Oh my god, guys. I have to go to the loo. You're watching a commercial-free stream where this is called a work session. Work sessions are where I just work, you know? You get to watch what I do when I'm not podcasting. Notice how I haven't had a front-facing camera on. They're on. Here I am. You can see me, you know? I am chilling. But right now, I gotta pee. So give me a second. I'll be right back. How about you watch your favorite spot? This podcast is brought to you by thru merch.
Every piece you see, designed by the photographer you're currently watching. And let me let you in on a little secret. Meticulously hand-stitched by the arthritic grandmothers of our very own viewers.
Well, what?
This creative community inspired this entire line. Your zeal
Okay, I
for
didn't write that.
artistry, your tireless dedication, and your individuality shines in every stitch and design. This isn't just another piece of clothing, it's a badge of honor for every creator out there. From what I see here, they are mostly just black t-shirts and hoodies, but you do you, boo. You actually want me to read the rest of this script?
Oh my god, who is this guy?
From the nuanced patterns to the vibrant colors, everything has been designed keeping in mind the creative soul that lies within each one of us. Wow, who wrote that? There isn't a single pattern, not one.
Oh my god, leave the
There is
commentary.
hardly any nuance. But it says
Oh my
here,
God,
this
this
merch
guy is a
represents more than
trip.
just apparel. It's an emblem of our shared passion for creativity. Who wrote this? What absolute twaddle.
Wow, this guy's a great supporter.
All of this stuff is kinda basic, to be honest, but I'll keep that to myself.
Okay.
Let the world know you're a part of something bigger. A photographer on YouTube's clothing collection that he actually has the balls to make a commercial about.
Okay, what
Sorry,
is going
what
on?
I meant to say is, a collective of photographers that celebrates and uplifts every form of creativity. I am aware, as the narrator, I'm not allowed to insert my own narrative. But, holy moly, this is horrible.
Wow.
Join the movement, embrace your creative spirit with thru merch. And yes, he is really calling this a movement. Be proud of your passion for photography. Be proud of your creative life. If photography is your life, flaunt it. The one paying for this advertisement has asked me to make a toast. Isn't this a podcast? Okay, it'll cost you another 20. Let's raise a toast to every photographer, artist, and creative out there. Thanks for being a part of this journey.
This guy's so
Did that suit you?
patronizing.
That was absolutely ridiculous. Please don't make me read anything like that again.
Back to the show. Friends. I had to go to the loo. I'm sorry. Okay, here we are. I'm using the patch tool to do some non-destructive retouching. I also forgot to do a new layer. So let's go back to history. Go back to when I opened this file here. I'll undo everything and I'll start over again. First thing I do is hit Command J. By the way, the reason that you get to see the back of my head today is because I'm not really here. This isn't really a stream. I'm just working. You guys just get to watch me work if you feel like hanging out. Welcome, Susan. So I'm using the patch tool, which is underneath the healing brush. In the patch tool, you're able to hold the integrity of the skin. I'm also, this is a macro picture. I'm using my 100mm macro, so it is quite a close-up image. Like, this is the whole photo. So it is quite a close-up image. I'm using 2 layers where I'm retouching on the second one. So I duplicate the layer. Now, this is 100%. And retouching at 100% here is totally fine. I'm also going to hit Tab, which removes all my tools, so you can just get a little bit more screen real estate. And I'm going to punch up to 200%. So that's where we were. That's what you missed. I also have a tablet, and because I have a tablet, I'm able to retouch as quickly as you're seeing me do right now. And also, you see here the texture of the skin. I can take something and pull it and still hold the texture of the skin with the patch tool, where If you use the healing brush, which I'll hit tab, I'll switch here, I'll go to the healing brush, and in here where the skin is super textured, if I say sample here and then patch here, this one's doing all right. It's doing all right. This is how I used to do it, but it depends on what I'm doing. Nowadays, because the patch tool, I just think heals better. You can see here with this hair, I can pull that and heal it underneath and the hair is still there. You see, like right here, can heal this, and I'm healing basically underneath of the hair by using the patch tool. Okay, we're a little bit too close now. So back to the patch tool. Right now I feel like I'm almost too close. So funny. I inspect people this close sometimes, you know, it's like when I look at the frames and I zoom in, I'm zooming in this close to check focus. It's unfortunate because like time was such a factor here with these ones. This guy definitely could have used like a little bit more attention. He needs his glasses, or I cleaned his glasses, but even still like deep cleaning his glasses is kind of more what needed to happen. Let's see what we can do here. There's Wacom tablets. Mine is a Wacom. I use the Intuoso 4 Pro. This is a very expensive tablet. I think this was like $500, $550. But I recommend a tablet called Game On. The Game On tablet is like $60. It's the same size. Oh, by the way, I want to show you this little secret here. You see how I have these little patches to clean on the glasses? You can see like you have to heal not that way. You have to heal in this scenario. You have to heal this way. Like you pull it this way and then you line up exactly the glasses and then you let go and it's gone. So right here, you include the rim, the frame, and then you pull it along. You just line up that frame and it's gone. Super simple. There's the before and there's the after. So I'm also going to do that here. And I'm also going to do that here. This is where it's going to be the trickiest one. So I'm going to take this curve like that. I'm going to move it up to this curve right here, like that. See if I can do that again. These angles aren't right. So because these angles aren't right, I'm zoomed in right now 800%. Because these angles aren't right, I'm going to try to do this and see if it'll let me patch this out without bleed. No, there's a lot of bleed there. So what I'm going to do now is let's see what generative fill does. Mr. Generative Fill. I've never tried this before. Okay, it's not bad. Not bad. Not bad. See before, after, not bad. Okay, let's look at it at 100%. It's not bad. It's so negligible. It's so negligible, but what it looked like before, like there, yeah, way better. Way better. Okay, so that was a part of this project that I was really dreading, was fixing his glasses. So now that we've got past that, we're good. The thing that's important is I want you to see how detail oriented I am on my images. And I also want you to notice the file quality. Like how incredible this body is. Like this body is nuts. And there's a reason that I bought the R5. And I've had the R5 since the month that it came out. Like I spent full price on the R5, by the way. I spent $56.99 plus tax, plus grip, plus extra battery. So when I bought my camera body, the invoice was $7,900 and change. So the fact that the R5 I saw like at 3,800 new now, I saw an R5 used at 3,800 and I almost bought it, but it's on Amazon at 3,800 right now. If you go to my website under gear I use, you will see the link for the R5 at 3,800. Which is insane. This is a future-proof camera. I bought a camera that would last me 10 years. Now, I might not have this camera for 10 years. I'll probably add to my bodies, but I've had this camera for 3 and it still feels brand new. Like literally like I just took it out of the box and it's my main body. You got to buy stuff that's like super durable. Okay, we're getting close to being... what's this shadow side of this guy's face look like? That's his actual skin, but this bothers me so much. Switching to the, here, what's this called? The clone tool? Switching to the clone tool. Back to the healing brush. I mean, back to the patch tool. A little bit of stuff through the glasses. I'm wondering if you're noticing the things as I'm this close on the skin. I'm wondering what you're noticing. And I'm wondering if you're asking yourself, is he going to fix that or is he going to leave it? The whole idea about my work is it needs to look like I did nothing to it. That's the whole, like my retouching style is there's no style. The whole idea is like my pictures look like that at a camera, and they do. They look very, very close to how you see them on my site or how you see them in social media. They look very close to that because this is my retouching. My retouching is so minimum. It's so detailed, but it's so minimum. And you can see I go by quadrants. Like I look at my photo and it's like at times I'm not even able to see the whole photo. I just see pixels. And I look at it on a pixel level so I can see, okay, I see these flakes. So I need these flakes and this dry skin to go away. Okay, so what's the easiest way to make it go away? Definitely not the way that I'm doing it right now. So I'm going to unselect that. I'm going to switch from here to the spot healing brush. And with the spot healing brush now, I don't need to sample. I can just paint. And now that I'm able to just paint, like I use the spot healing tool to get rid of dust on a black sweater or to get rid of fleck on skin. It's for like these little white spots. And you can see how fast it is once you switch to the, like, I don't have to drag. I can just scrub over it and it just gets all of this. Look, this is before, and look how fast I did that. This is just, again, it's called the spot healing brush. It's not incredibly accurate, so at times you have to go over things more than once because it doesn't have a great interpolation engine as far as what it knows what you want it to be. But if you're just doing something light on dark, it's simple. Like something light on dark, like what I'm doing here. And again, let's look at this area and look at it before and look at it after. Like that's just with a really quick little run using the spot healing brush. So I'm just going to do a last little bit of scan. And oh, in here, spot healing brush for these black spots. That's exactly what I forgot to do earlier. So just hit these little black spots with the spot healing brush. And hit that, hit that. Again, the accuracy on this tool is not great. So right here, I'm switching to, this is the clone tool that I just used, switching back to the spot healing brush and going back in here and just getting these black dots. And before and after. And then that is starting to look like a final photo, but now his chin, there's a whole bunch of stuff that I missed on his mouth. So we'll hit the spot healing brush and just get some of these white flecks off the dome. First, while I'm on this tool, and then I can get into a little bit more like blemish fixing. Okay, that's enough of that. Going crazy with this white spot. It makes me nauseous if I use that too much. This is usually when I have to take a break, is when I have to do the fine, like dust on a sweater. It's like a black sweater and it's just covered in white specks. Like those kind of dexterous, like getting rid of every single one. Like I feel like after doing it for 20 minutes, I feel like I'm going to throw up. Like literally it makes me motion sickness. I get motion sickness from doing it. So when I have to do too many images, like when the order is like great, like when it's 40 images, 50 images, 60 images, I call Julie and I get Julie to do my retouching. When it's, you know, like less than 10 or so, or like a small amount, especially in this case where it's like, they call me or they message me about this yesterday and then they're messaging me today saying, hey, where are those files? When they need to turn around that quick, like I can't put that on anyone else. I just do them myself. All right, we're getting to the end of this image here. How's my time? 58. You see, it took me 20 minutes on this single picture. Jesus. I usually like to have like a faster vibe. But I don't care. Like, I don't care how long it takes because I make money per photo. Like, I'm literally, if I retouch 3 pictures in an hour, I just made $150 an hour. So, yeah, I try to be efficient with my retouching, but without rushing it. All right, let's look at what this looks like. Getting really close. Not a detached LED as Cardi. I'm not sure what you're saying, Susan. Do confirm. Okay, I think this is really as close as I can get Just a little bit of lip work there. What do you mean not as detached? Yeah, I'm not sure what Susan's saying. You can fill me in. What's the little pad that I'm using? It's a Wacom Intuoso. This is my iPad. I mean, it's not my iPad, it's my tablet. This thing. It's massive, by the way. Mine is massive. So this is like a $500 Wacom Intuoso 4. And pen. That's what I'm retouching with. This is my stream control. This is how I change cameras and throw graphics and stuff like that. That's what this is. This is stream control. So this is always on if I'm live. Okay. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. I think this is it. I think we're here. I think we're here. I could definitely, like, there's a couple of small things that I could do. I'm gonna probably end it after this because it's 4 and I have to do my podcast at 6. So much stuff I set to do today. Okay, let's do just a little bit of dodging. We're gonna hit this under the eye. As you remember, we're gonna switch to the brush tool. The brush tool is set at white on one side and black on the other. We're using the brush tool. The brush tool is also set for 0 hardness. And I am just lightening here underneath his eyes, just a touch. Without going too far, just a touch here, a little bit here. I'm just hitting just a little, taking these shadows down just a touch. And you can see how beautiful you can be with the dodge tool. Look at how I'm now, and also look at the dexterity with this pen. Like you can't move a mouse with this same kind of dexterity. All right. Now I'm just hitting a little bit of the dark areas. See before and after. Before and after. Now I'm just going to pull the opacity down a little bit on that lightning layer, that dodging layer to like 75, which is good for me. You can see before and after. And I will merge these 2 layers, and then you can see before, including the retouching, and after. Before and after. All right. So we flatten that, save that, and then quit that. Obviously, I was using Photoshop. This is why you use Photoshop for all of the heavy lifting, and I flagged this picture to tell myself that this is retouched. So what I did today, the ones that are red, this is my first one I started doing before you guys came in. This is the first picture. There it is at 100% sharpness. And then look at her freckles, so great. And then this picture I worked on, cleaned up the black. It's the second picture I worked on, cleaned up the skin, made it perfecto. And then this picture I worked on, cleaned his skin, made this perfecto. And then you guys came in when I was working on this picture. And this is this picture at 100% with full sharpness. And remaining, oh yeah, I did this one too. I worked on that one. So yeah, these are the remaining. There's a remaining 7. Yeah, 7. I kept it nice and balanced. I did 6 and I left 7. So good deal. So I'll be working on this one, this, this, and that one. So yeah, that's my next task, but I think I'm done for the day as far as retouching, because I do these live streams. I don't know if you know, I do these live streams every Tuesday, Thursday at 6 p.m. But during the day, I'm retouching. I'm working on my website. I'm doing something, and so many things are happening. I've been working on the masterclass. So the masterclass is open to join if you are interested. The details are in the show notes of this particular video. I'll talk a little bit more about it on tonight's podcast. We go live in 2 hours. Today we are talking about more talk on surviving in the creator economy, to be honest. So I want to show you my exact title, because sometimes I forget I do show notes, and then once I'm not doing show notes anymore, I stress about it again when I'm doing it. So the 2 most important aspects of your photography. Exactly. The 2 most important aspects of your photography. Very excited about this, because this is, I'm doing a lecture at an art school. So I'm also prepping lecture for that, and this delivery that I'm about to give you today, I've presented this in front of like 1,200 art students at a university level. So today we are talking about the 2 most important aspects of your photography career. I hope you guys have a chance to tune in. We'll be doing photo reviews on Thursday. Thank you, by the way, for watching this very special stream. Appreciate you. Members, I love you all. I'll see you at 6. Do I ever come to the States, says Black Phoenix. Yes, I come to the States all the time. All the time, actually. All the time. I get flown there all the time. Now that I have such an audience and people all over the place, I'm actually going to start telling people where I'm traveling, so you guys can come meet me. And also, if you're interested in something completely radical, how about camping with Cardi, where you fly to Canada or drive here and hang out with me for 5 days for an intense in-person workshop, photography, lighting, mindset, pro business stuff. And then we camp at night and eat hot dogs and roast marshmallows and sit around a campfire. That is my thoughts. I am trying to build not just this education program and this masterclass, but I'm also trying to build some destination, like, hey, fly here, hang out with me for a week, and let's talk photography. If that's something that you're interested in, or you would do that, leave a comment, send me an email, or a DM. I love you guys. Thanks so much for watching. There's vegetables for everybody.